Welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute, your source of internet marketing inspiration.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute. I'm your host, John Henson, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about a little discussion that I saw on a Facebook group over the week. It had to do with sort of a marketing concept where it was, should you be everywhere or should you be top of mind? And I mean, obviously, if you guys have been listening to us for any amount of time, you kind of know where we stand on this. But it was an interesting discussion that I thought was intriguing to see attorneys out there still having, where some people think that in order to have marketing success, it's all about visibility. And that is true, but there's a line that you can cross where it just becomes a waste of your time. And what I mean by that is you have to know where your audience is. You have to know where they're spending the most amount of their time before you can even really get into doing any sort of marketing. So for example, if your philosophy is to be everywhere, all right, that means you need to literally be everywhere. You need to have TikTok presence, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Heck, well, not anymore, but maybe you were on Parler for a few months. But you're on billboards, you're on park benches, you're on shopping carts, you're on TV ads, you're on radio ads, you're doing webinars, seminars, and I mean the list goes on and on and on. And as you build that list out, you realize that's a lot of places that your potential audience is going to be hanging out. Obviously, depending on your practice area, it's going to be a little bit more focused. But if you're an estate planning attorney, everyone needs an estate plan. If your philosophy is to be everywhere, you're going to have to be very spread out over a lot of different places. But on the other hand, if you focus on just staying top of mind, that becomes a little bit easier. Sure, you may end up being in a lot of places, but being top of mind is being in the places where your audience is hanging out the most, where your audience is spending the most time. And at that point, then all of the content that you were creating and spreading out across 30, 40 different platforms, now you're narrowed down to maybe 10, maybe 5, who knows? However, whatever your practice area is, wherever your audience is spending the most time. And now you can do the same things that you were doing, but it's much more concentrated and it's much more likely that you're going to see the leads come in from those sources versus just kind of flinging a wider net out and just being absolutely everywhere. So the first thing you need to do is to make sure that you know where your audience is hanging out. And when you figure that out, it makes your marketing so much easier. So that's the starting point. Figure out where your audience is hanging out. If you're a business attorney, they're probably spending more time on LinkedIn than they are on Facebook or Twitter. If you are an estate planning attorney, probably the opposite is true, where your audience is spending more time on Facebook than they are on LinkedIn. If you're a criminal defense attorney, and you focus on college kids getting DUIs or drinking tickets or whatever the case is, you're probably going to be on TikTok a little bit more than maybe some other places, and so that's where you got to figure out where your marketing is going to go, where your content is going to go. And look, if you're unsure of some of the places that your people are hanging out, let me know. Reach out to me, email me at john@spotlightbranding.com. I'm happy to sort of brainstorm some ideas with you where you should be looking. There are some things obviously that are going to be universal. Email, social media, those people are going to be on those places. Where it gets a little tricky is sort of those physical locations. Are you looking to do some more physical ads? You probably you shouldn't be doing yellow pages ads anymore. I think we can all agree that those are dead, but there are still some physical ads that could still work. And if that's part of your marketing plan, if that's part of your marketing budget, you got to make sure you're in the right places for those things to be the most effective. So I think, being everywhere is not necessarily a wise marketing strategy unless you have just a huge marketing budget that you can be everywhere. But make sure that you know where your audience is and make sure that you're concentrating your content to hitting those people constantly so that they're staying top of mind. And obviously the results from that is that you're the first person they think of when the need arises. You're going to increase those referrals and you're going to have success marketing that way. All right. Hope that was helpful for you guys. And that's going to do it for us this week. Continue to check out Center Stage, new episodes every Wednesday morning. Rate, review us on Apple Podcasts. Love getting all the feedback from you guys. Really do appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining us. Please visit lawfirmmarketingminute.com for more information. We'll see you next time.